Well, the idea is to be able for the public in Brazil to discover his work, of course. So you have the entire work of Emmanuelle here, almost everything, except the last works that were done in Hollywood, and which are less important, I would say, than his work in Paris. This is why I chose this part of his work, which is the main important one during his time. It's almost, it's mainly, let's say, chronological, but it's also thematic, so that you have the first part is most of his way of living, how he would earn money with photography, which is portraits and fashion images, and then you have all his personal work with what he invented for Dada and Surrealist movement. So you have the rayographs, you have the solarization, all the amazing works that people know now very much, like Le Violon d'Ingres, Glass Tears and everything. What he invented really was to propose a new photography. As you know, photography is always supposed to tell the truth. So what he invented with Marcel Duchamp in the first place in New York is he invented a way to propose a new reality with photography. And this is really what he add to, let's say, surrealist movement. He was really the inventor of surrealist photography. He was the first one, of course, but he was also the only one for years to be able to make photographic, surrealist photography, I would say. So this is the main important thing, is how he made the, he tried to find a way to put reality aside. So whenever he would make a photography, even if it's in the real world, I would say, even if you really take a picture, he's already taking distance with the subject so that he can crop the image on the negative and feel it unreal. The cropping is really important for him, and when you crop an image, then you have a different image at the end. So this is how he finds the way to take his distance with reality. Well, you will find the most avant-gardist movies that you can imagine, because he was one of the first ones to make this kind of movies. Emmanuelle was really making research, and so the research he would make for photography also applied it in the movies. So the rayographs, for example, he first made them on papers, but then he would, I would say maybe 1 month later, he would try it on a movie. So you have the same research on movies. Well, Emmanuelle is really important at the beginning of the century because he's this sense of, this is actually why he came to Paris, he has this sense of freedom that is really important to him, that he wouldn't be able to find in New York in the first place. That's why he came to Paris. And I think today freedom is still very important, and he's probably a good, let's say, a good person to follow on this. So there is the freedom, the humor, of course, which is really important, and also the sense that you need to understand that for him photography is not only an aesthetic thing. Of course, many of his photographs are beautiful, and this is why we like them very much. But it's not only that, they always have also a meaning. And it's very interesting to ask yourself, when you look at the pictures, why would you make such a picture? I mean, for example, black and white, which is one of the most important, well-known images of Man Ray. The black and white image is very important sense of ethical way, what it is representing, and equally representation of the black and white people, which was at that point, at that moment, really new also in the 20s. So that's really important to keep in mind.